So what I'll be doing, family, is going back and forth with some B-roll, so you get some clips of the actual shoe itself. So ultimately, I think the number one thing is the fact that they are, you know, an eye attraction. So for example, when you see somebody walking with red shoes in general, it's going to be something that you're like, yo, like, what is that? Like, where does that come from, you know? Or they would just be like, yo, that's hot. Like, where you get a pair of these? You get what I'm saying? Like, I've gotten so many compliments for these. So that's the number one thing. Not that it's a big deal, but it's definitely a great conversation starter. And I'm really big on marketing and advertisement, and I'm my own, you know, walking advertisement. So if that means that, excuse me, you have to make a little bit of an investment so that you can stand out from the average person, then why not, right? So the next positive thing that I like about this shoe is the fact of, I like how like low profile and sleek it is. You get what I'm saying? Like, it looks smooth. It's not like a traditional like lifting shoe where it looks kind of basic, or like wrestling shoes. So although it has the same style, it's definitely different. It has more of a suede-ish type of feel, kind of like felt, I guess, more so. And then it transitions into the different type of suede. So if you're a person where you're worried about your shoes or whatnot, you know, you could get a water protectant or repellent, whatever they call them, and use that. But bro, these are for the gym. I mean, it's supposed to be toe up. Now you'll notice at the bottom where I'm placing a lot of my weight for my feet. So this was also a really good indication, since it's flat, where I place a lot of my weight, which you can see is on the back of my heel, and also slightly in the middle, and then also more towards the inner portion of my foot by my big toe. So again, these were small little things that I noticed for sure. But like I said, I think ultimately they're really great shoes. But it's all preference at the end of the day. Now, I would say con, and it's a couple of them. First and foremost, I'm wide foot. So if you're a wide foot person, get yourself either a half a size up, more than likely, just so you have a little bit of wiggle room. So this was primarily focused, from what I've seen, for people who are narrow footed. I have a wide ass foot. That's not happening. So I bought I forgot what size this was. I got me I think it's a size 11, an 11. So on average, most shoes I wear an 11, but the material on the shoes are different. So for example, I wear a lot of Adidas, so they have a little bit more spandex or elasticity, so it flexes or stretches, as opposed to something like this, it's more tight and more rigid. Now, granted, another positive is that when you do tie these bad boys up, bro, you guys don't have to worry about them hoes coming off, I promise you. Now, the only thing though is when it comes to taking them off, it takes some time. So just be very mindful of that. You know, if you're a person where you don't like things that consume a lot of time, this is one of those things. And it also depends on how tight you wear them. Another con is because they're flat foot, there's no support, definitely don't walk on these for a long period of time. So usually when I'm done with the gym, I take them off almost immediately, because they're not comfortable to walk in, especially for my knees. You know, when I first bought them, I was like, yo, this looks icy. Like, let me go ahead and go to, you know, the store. And I went to Sam's and wore them. And I know a lot of people, they noticed me, but my knees were hurting. Them boys was like snap, crackle, pop Rice Krispies. You feel me? So in the event of that's not something you're looking forward to, definitely think about that. Now, my overall, as far as on a scale of 1 to 10, I would probably rate these shoes at a 6, 7. And the way I got that number was basically because the fact of the feel, the material, as far as the durability, flexibility, everything is nice. But for me, I think the main turnoff was the fact of, you know, the whole size up thing. I didn't know that was going to be a big issue, because spending almost like 150, 60 bucks on these shoes, coming from Australia at the time, before they had their manufacturer here, it was kind of hectic. So I was just like, I don't really want to go through the whole return process or whatever the case is. But ultimately, I might have scaled it or rated it pretty low. But to be honest with you, it's a great shoe. Now, in all reality, I honestly don't really even use these shoes anymore, just due to the fact of the hassle of having to get into them and getting out of them. So as you can see, there's a lot of laces. So as you're pulling apart, you literally have to pull apart all of them significantly to make sure that you have enough wiggle room, especially if you have a wide foot. So you notice I actually laced mine up pretty tight. So for me, it's more of an inconvenience. But in all reality, if I have a leg day, you'll probably see me wear these more on a leg day, because I would like something that's flat surfaced and close contact to either a platform that I'm on for hack squats, leg presses, or you know, squats, regular squats, lunges, whatever the case is that has to do with planting that foot on the ground, just making sure that I have a really good foundation, yes, that makes sense. So I could honestly probably give it a 7.5, 8. Would I recommend these shoes to someone? Absolutely. But again, don't go out of your way if you don't necessarily need them right now. Always remember, all of these different accessories that we'll be going over time is just, it's a resource or a tool to help you perform a little bit more efficiently. So you can still find shoes like Converses, you can find shoes like, there's certain Adidas as well too, like all different types, No Bull and all these other people that have great products. But again, it's more of you're paying for the brand name itself. So making sure that you do have decent quality, and not just necessarily some random Joe Schmo shoe from like Amazon, I think it does play a big role as far as, again, durability, specifically longevity. So being able to invest in something and knowing that this is going to last probably another 3, 4, 5 years, the way my thought process works is, once I purchase it, you know, if it's lasted 3, 4 years, I divide that. So if it's been 36 months and I spent 150 bucks, I basically break it down that way and say, okay, I only spent X, Y, and Z based on that many months, or I only spent X amount for each month, and it basically pays for itself. So ultimately, that's the way that I look at it. It's probably a very unorthodox way to think about things, but that's kind of how I had to process things when it comes to me doing previous jobs in sales, which is sidetrack. But so that's where I got the ideology from, as far as like, hey, knowing if it's worth it as far as my investment, I just break it down differently. They're definitely gonna last you a long time. Just make sure that you get a half a size up, or either a full size, because I believe they only did full sizes. So if you're an 11, you have a wide foot, go up to a 12. So it just, again, it all depends on your body at the end of the day. But I just wanted to just follow up with you guys, man. I wanted to follow up, give you guys a little bit more in-depth detail in regards to how that shoe is doing. But like I said, ultimately, it's been a year. This shoe is still holding up pretty great. I still get compliments from time to time when I do wear them. It's something I would recommend, but it's not something that you absolutely need. So just be very mindful of that and utilize your resources and tools properly. So think about all of these different things, lifting belt, all this other stuff, lifting straps, as different tools within your toolbox. And you will utilize certain things in your toolbox as needed. You don't necessarily need to use all of them at one time, because what ends up happening is you then, tend to rely on them. We're not trying to rely on them. So other than that, guys, I'm gonna keep this video very short. It's already been a little bit longer than expected. If you all have any other questions, comments, concerns, I will do my best to get on a little bit quicker, because we will be posting and uploading a lot more videos more frequently. But what we're gonna be doing is also incorporating some reviews and stuff like that too, because I just noticed nobody did full in-depth detail as far as the shoe itself. Now, granted, it's probably not a full in-depth detail video, but enough to where you can get an idea of what's good about the shoe, what's not good about it. And also remember, this is my personal opinion, so take it with a grain of salt and take it for what it is, and take from it what you think might suit you best when you're looking for another shoe. So definitely do your due diligence, look around, see if places have discounts. One of the things that I like to do with any brand in particular, it's a marketing strategy. So I'm gonna give y'all a little tool before I leave. But what I'll do is put these in the cart, and then I'll just walk away from it. I'll either leave the screen up or long enough and then exit it, because now it's capturing your email information. So once we get to the checkout, I let it capture on my email information. And then now with their email service provider that they're working with, they'll send you little links for discounts. So sometimes I get them for 10, 15% off. So that's a little hack if you guys didn't know. Definitely incorporate that. And that's with a majority of most companies, believe it or not. So I always tell people, throw it in the cart, act like you're gonna buy it, then exit it out. Don't put your credit card information, but primarily your email. And then it's gonna capture that and save that to their email list, and then send you an offer so you can come back, which is more enticing, so you can purchase something. So definitely take that with you before you leave. And again, If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them down below. We're going to be making more videos. It's going to be focused around, again, fitness, healthy lifestyle habits, and other things of that nature. If you could go ahead and share with another person, and we will be catching up with you very soon. And again, it's Deon Averill from Evolve Fitness, where we get fit and we don't quit. I'm going to catch up with y'all soon. Yeah.